like to look in the mirror and say I like you. Choose how to.
Hi, hello. Welcome to the PHP. That's Perez. I'm Booker. What's up? How you doing?
Oh my gosh, so much is up. We're going to be talking Prince Harry upsetting a lot of people, Kanye West dominating pop culture over the last week, Britney Spears being very public with her feud against her sister. We're going to get into the Novak Djokovic situation, which has come to a resolution, talking Joe Rogan and so much more. But first, how are you?
I'm good. We had our iHeartRadio alter ego show this weekend, so I was very, very busy for the past couple of days, but home, and it's MLK Day today, so I'm relaxing. So there you go.
That was a good concert.
Oh, it was great. Avril Lavigne was the surprise guest. I think we're best friends now. Her and I. Oh yeah, we're two peas in a pod. I don't know what's going on there, but we're friends. Yeah, that was great. Kings of Leon were great. Coldplay always, kills. And
who was the headliner? Coldplay.
21. We had so many headliners. 21 Pilots, Coldplay, 21 Pilots.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And how long did they and Coldplay play for?
About an hour.
An hour each?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, we started at I think we started at 7. Imagine Dragons started playing at 7 and we left at midnight.
Oh wow.
So 5 hours of music, yeah.
And Imagine Dragons was first.
Mm-hmm.
They could have been the headliner.
Yeah, it's weird because they all jock. Some people want to leave. Coldplay was 4th, I believe, and I don't know. It's a whole thing. Some bands want to leave, some want to get out of there. You know what I mean? It's a whole, whatever. I think it's a whole to do trying to figure out who's playing where and then what they're playing and blah blah blah. But it was fun. I watched, to be honest with you, I watched most of the show on a monitor because I was so freaking busy, which was fine because I didn't want to be out with people, to be honest with you. Just, it's too scary, but
I saw
double masked.
I saw all those maskless photos of you and the musicians.
Well, but keep in mind, that's backstage. We all were tested, PCR tested that morning. You couldn't get in my room without an orange band that said you were tested that day, artist included. It was the Gestapo. It was no joke. And there's checkpoints throughout. You couldn't get into certain rooms and everyone has the wrist up. Oh yeah.
Artists had to be tested, but they don't have to be, did they have to be vaccinated?
I don't know. I don't know what that was, but they all were PCR tested that morning. So
well, I'm glad
the most expensive test you could take, that must have cost $1 billion. I can't imagine.
Well, I'm glad you had fun. I had a good weekend too. Mostly chill, but I took my son to the new Scream movie, which some people are like, why are you taking your son to see such a violent movie? Because he wanted to, and because it's a movie. It's not real life. It's not like he's playing violent video games every single day. He doesn't consume that kind of content.
Who cares if he was? But he doesn't didn't he was out on the last? Yeah. What was the last scary movie you had to leave? You're like, we're leaving. It was recent. Yeah, dude. It was I don't know, 8 weeks ago, maybe.
No. That was Halloween Horror Nights. That's a different.
You're right. You're right.
Different experience.
You're right.
For some reason, in the movies, he's fine.
He's fine.
But the in-person thing, that was just next level for him.
I gotcha.
Anyways, if you haven't seen the new Scream movie, I won't do any spoilers here. I just really enjoyed it. It's thumbs up. I'll just say this. They say something in the movie, which was, all the Scream films, very meta. It's a commentary on things. And they said in the movie, the sequels are never as good as the original. And that's true.
Yeah.
The sequels are never as good as the original, but this was a great sequel. So I'm glad I went, and I highly recommend it. Also, over the last week, I got into I wouldn't even call it an argument. It's not an argument, but I was mentioned in an interview that Tara Reid gave. She, was in American Pie and all of those movies. She did The Big Lebowski back in the 90s. She was engaged to Carson Daly for a while.
That's right.
And in this interview, Tara Reid literally says that I am responsible for her career floundering.
I mean, thanks for giving me, you that much credit. That's what I'd say, but come on, get out of here. Your response, I did read because Perez sent it to me. It was awesome. I mean, it was like finally playing offense. I like that.
Yeah, I said, and then some people were also upset at my response. And I'm like, fuck you.
Oh, fuck them.
My response was, and I think I remember verbatim, I said, I could have covered Tara Reid's then sloppiness and very public behavior with more empathy.
Yeah.
But some people are like, why do you have to be so snarky? I'm like, listen, we don't need to rewrite history.
Yeah.
He was sloppy back
I didn't make her behave the way that she did. Okay. She was. Well documented.
It's well on paparazzi, countless.
Yeah.
It's very like, we can't whitewash history. What happened, happened. I could have been more compassionate. Yes. She was just being a normal-ish 20-something-year-old, or not even. Is that normal? I guess it's like half and half, right? Some normal-ish 20-somethings will go that route, and some other 20-somethings that are in the industry might be a lot more image conscious. Mm-hmm. Like Taylor Swift. We've never really seen Taylor Swift be sloppy at all, ever, I think. But most people are not Taylor Swift. So, all right. Finally, before we really get to the show, this is my not desperate, but this is my overture. I wouldn't even call it a plea. My overture. If there's anybody listening or watching that has any connections and could get me in to see Adele in Las Vegas.
Dear God, quit pandering to our audience. They have no connections with Adele.
Well, anyway, but maybe there's some Vegas people that have Vegas connections.
Then call them on your own fucking time. This is not show material. Give me a break.
I emailed her manager, who I used to have a relationship with, and he ghosted me.
Yeah, wonder why.
Why? Tell me why, bitch.
What do you mean, why?
Why?
Because
tell me why.
I'll quote my favorite movie again, because you're a boil on the ass of humanity.
Well, I have two fucking Adele.
Steel Magnolias, by the way.
I have two Adele platinum plaques in my house. They sent me for helping out back in the day.
Dude, they love you when you need you. You know what I mean? And then you move on. I mean, what fucking year? What do you?
I get it. No, I get it.
All right.
I get that. I understand. I know exactly what you said, but it's like, at least respond to my email and be like, oh, we're totally sold out, like at least be courteous.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not like I expected tickets. No. But at least a quick response like, oh, we, whatever. Love you. You're great.
This is not helping your cause. See, you do shit like this, and then you sit and wonder, like, why can't I get a response? Because you're being an asshole right now. Okay.
I'm not being an asshole.
Yes, you are. You're calling them out for not responding to you. If you don't get that is horrible behavior. If you don't get that, then you should. It's mind blowing to me. You're calling out Adele's team for not answering you back right now. You're literally calling them out.
But that's not horrible behavior.
That's horrible behavior. It's not, it lacks tact and class. You do it on your own time. Write them. You don't need to go on a platform and then call them out. You're just not talking to me. We're not on the phone. Okay. You can say that on the phone. We're doing a show. I don't get these are the holes in your personality that you just clearly don't understand.
I don't think it's
you don't. I know. That's it. You never think.
Well, it's just as horrible to ghost me. That's just as horrible.
Okay.
I think.
You just don't get it. It's why I come back every week, folks, because I love what falls out of his mouth weekly.
I think you're really wrong here. Whatever.
Okay.
Call us. Let us know what
I just made a very, very valid point and argument why people would not want you on their side, but you're calling them out publicly.
So that happened.
You're like, so that's the point. They never, if you were truly on their side or you truly, understood, you would know better than to go onto a platform and say, these people could have at least called me back, like
email
or whatever.
That is the professional.
You're calling them out. It is the professional. It's also the professional thing to zip your lip and not tell anyone this. That's the professional thing to do. I don't get how you don't get that. You're hilarious.
But I wasn't trashing anybody. I just, like.
But you are inadvertently. It's like you always say this bullshit like old Perez. No, it's just Perez. Okay,
well,
this is the same behavior. You're just choosing your words differently, and it's a little softer. I get, and it's not like you're not. Fuck them, they're assholes, but you're still publicly calling someone out for not getting your way.
No,
yes, that's exactly what just happened.
No, I literally said I had no expectations of tickets. It would have just been, and I even said
and
that.
It would have been what? Continue.
No, and it would have been fine. I would have understood it. Like, I get it. Everybody
and the next part
is asking for tickets. I literally said, oh, and by the way,
no, we got that part. That part's okay.
No. In the email, I even said, I literally understand, that you're probably flooded with tickets. I'm not like, I wouldn't be upset if I don't get any. I just figured I would ask. So I thought I sent a really polite email. And
you did. But then he went on this show and explained what you did, which inadvertently calls them out for not responding to you.
I don't care. I would do.
I know, but I'm just trying to connect the dots for you when you wondered why they don't call you back, or you wonder why you don't get the things that you want. This is it. This is the reason. I wish I was ask your therapist about this. Okay, forget about me for a minute. Just ask your therapist. It's like a backhanded compliment, which you know what I mean? It's not really a compliment.
I wasn't complimenting him.
No. I'm drawing a parallel. What it's like, what you did. It's not a compliment. What you did. It's just.
So you believe then that professionals should cover up unprofessional behavior of others?
Yes.
Well, I disagree.
You don't. Okay. That's why you don't get.
Disagree.
Okay. There we go.
Simple as that. Let's keep it moving.
We can disagree. It's cool.
All right.
It's cool. I'm trying to make you understand something that you clearly do not understand. I should have
kept.
No. Everything you said is fine. And if we were on the phone, everything you said is fine. You're not.
Well, if we were on the phone,
we're broadcasting this. We're on the air. Okay.
I do know that.
But you are calling them an asshole is the point.
I'm not.
Yes, you kind of are. They could have at least called me back. They could have at least, you know what I mean? You're saying someone that works for her team isn't doing their job, and you're on a public platform telling people that. Let's move on. You're right.
It's also,
it's funny you don't get it.
It's not like I said, also, it's not like I'm a stranger to these people also. It's not like you're not helping
your case.
Let me finish.
Listen, I don't disagree with you. You're right. They should.
Let me finish. It's not like Dua Lipa, right? I have no idea who Dua Lipa's manager is. If I sent an email to Dua Lipa's manager and he ghosted me, all right, whatever, no big deal. I haven't worked with Dua Lipa's manager in the past. I don't have a relationship with Dua Lipa or her manager.
You're digging your hole even deeper.
I'm not digging my hole any deeper.
Because you are saying you have a relationship with those people and you're putting it on blast right now. Honey, how do you not see that?
It's not the end of the world. You're making
it isn't the end of the world, but it's unprofessional on your part as well. It is. Okay. I'm telling you, I'm not trying to make a dig at you. I'm just trying to make you understand something.
What? Howard Stern is your friend. This is something Howard Stern would do.
Okay. If you say so.
Yeah.
I don't think Howard would I would never speak for Howard. I have no idea. I don't know if he would reach out to someone. I don't know if he would go on his show and blast someone for not getting him tickets. That's not really a Howard thing to do. But
anybody.
Okay.
All right, we're wasting so much time.
We totally are. It's fine.
It's you. I was ready to move on a while ago.
I choose to look in the mirror and say I like you. Choose, I choose.
All right, everybody. If you need a break from life, High Chew is what you deserve. No, in all seriousness, you know what I love about High Chew? Their fruit ones, especially. It doesn't taste like, something artificial. It actually tastes like fruit because they're made from actual, true, real fruit concentrate, like purees, and just like, it's a taste unlike any other. These delicious, chewy, gummy, yummy candies are great for yourself. They're great for your kids. They're a healthier alternative to other candies out there. And if you want to train children, this is a great way to reward
This
them.
is the weirdest rap I've ever heard. If you want to train children,
like
candy.
Yeah, like if you make your bed,
you're on a roll today.
If you make your bed, I'll give you a candy.
Okay.
You're on a roll today. Anyways, go to high-chew.com/win. That's HICHEW.com/win and enter to win an exclusive bucket of High Chew candy and swag. While you're there, check out how you can become a member of the High Chew crew, which is an exclusive club where you receive special offers and all the cool things. That's high-chew.com/win. And we would really, really appreciate if you support all of our sponsors, or as many as possible, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's start off today by talking about Kanye West. I guess let's start with chronological order, talking about Kanye West. Thursday morning, and by Thursday morning, I mean literally the beginning of the morning, overnight, like around 3 a.m., Kanye, according to reports, got into a physical altercation with somebody. Allegedly, it was a paparazzo or a professional autograph seeker. We don't know. However, according to reports, Kanye responded with violence. Perhaps he was being agitated and egged on, a Jason Derulo situation where something similar happened to him in Vegas. But is it so hard to ignore somebody? Is it so hard to just walk away or let your security handle it? I don't know what was said, and it doesn't matter what
forget
was
about what was
said.
said, but you're jumping to conclusions. I mean, Kanye could be walking. And I've been in these situations around the, in the J-Lo army. These people get in your space as you're walking. They'll literally stop you as you're walking. And then they'll say, you touched me. And then all of a sudden they cry assault. And it's reported that way. I'm just saying.
Kanye has admitted to assaulting that person. You missed that part.
I missed that part.
Yes,
what did he do?
I was going to get to that. He confessed to it. I was just going in chronological order, but let's just skip around. He literally boasted. He boasted about assaulting this guy. Let me read to you the exact quote. So there's a lot that's been going on. First there was that physical altercation. He's still with that new girlfriend. We'll talk about her in a moment. He's developed this new trend or habit where he's going live on Instagram story, broadcasting all of his grievance, doing what I did with Adele's manager. But he's doing it in a bigger and worse way. And on top of it all, he's granting interviews. He gave an interview after that alleged altercation, and he said the following: that blue COVID mask ain't gonna stop that knockout.
What the fuck does that mean?
That like you could have a mask on your face and I'm still gonna knock you out.
Okay.
Anyways, he went on, like, let me
Is he claiming like self-defense, or like what happened? Like, give me, do we know like what went down? Did the guy take a swing at him? Was he taunting him?
He was taunting him. God, I don't want to read the whole thing. Stop me at any time. As far as the paparazzi goes, right? Like, it wasn't a fan. It was 3 a.m. in the front of the warehouse. I'm saying, you don't know what I'm dealing with right now. I just finished these 2 songs. I came from the studio. I created the record, this impromptu shoot, and my cousins went and did really deliver the mission. And this dude he had this real attitude, like, what you gonna do? And see that? I'ma just tell you that blue COVID mask ain't stopped that knockout. You know what I'm saying? So some guy was taunting him, and Kanye knocked him out. And he confessed to it.
But is there more? I mean, was that the confession?
That's the confession. Yeah. And people were there. There were witnesses.
Okay.
There was more than one person there.
Okay, so but they were saying like Kanye assaulted this guy, like the guy didn't do anything to him. Like
it absolutely was probably provoked.
No. I mean, with violence is my question. Like, did the guy touch Kanye? Did the guy?
I haven't read that. No.
So, all right. I'm just trying to figure out if provoked could mean many things. Provoked means he could
verbally provoked.
Okay, there we go. I guess that's what I'm getting at. If it was just words, but to me, I just heard a bunch of words back from Kanye. I mean, it didn't say that, unless you said that, it's proven like he punched the guy in the face. I guess he did, right?
Let me give you a spoiler alert, and I'll tell you exactly how this is all going to pan out. Kanye was going to get sued by that guy. Kanye will give that guy $50,000 to $100,000. The guy won't press charges, won't cooperate, and this will all go away. And Kanye's money,
I like your spoiler alert.
Kanye's money is going to protect him and absolve him from these sins that he committed, because that's most often what always happens.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
But Kris Jenner is taking notes. Oh, Kanye getting violent with the paparazzo. Note. Also,
that's a good point.
He's not divorced yet from Kim Kardashian. They have not settled everything yet. And in addition to getting into a physical altercation with a paparazzo, he also made a violent threat against Pete Davidson. Yes, his lawyer could argue he was joking. He said it in a song, but would you joke about violence against your wife's new boyfriend if you're not divorced yet? I don't know if that's the smartest thing in this.
Yeah. I don't know if it's actionable, but you're right. It's not the smartest thing. I mean, look, when custody is on the line, and I don't know if it'll have any, I don't know what we'd have to get a lawyer to figure out, like, if this has anything to do with the money and how they dice that up.
I definitely think that a judge, if presented with all of this, takes it all into consideration.
Yeah. Okay. I'm fair. That's fair.
So in this new song that was originally leaked and now officially released, Kanye rapped, "God saved me from the crash just so I can beat Pete Davidson's ass."
I think he's suffering from the Weekend syndrome.
What do you mean?
Lyrics.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know about that. I like it. I mean, it's like,
beat his ass into getting my way. I mean, it could mean anything. I don't know. I don't think a judge is going to listen to this crap. I don't think that's a threat. I just think it's like a goddamn goofy lyric.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
I think there's a reason why Kim is being extra cautious around Kanye now. According to Kanye, this is not according to reports, not according to sources. According to Kanye and his big mouth himself, he said on Instagram story that he showed up to pick up his kids at their house and security would not let him go into the house, allegedly because Pete Davidson was there. So I need to be clear, because Kim Kardashian is not stopping Kanye from picking up the kids. They had agreed to that. Go pick up the kids. She just didn't want him going into the house.
Yeah, and she has those rights.
And that upset him. But you know what? You're not together anymore. Kanye wants to continue everything as it was, and things aren't like they were anymore.
Yeah. Are they legally separated yet?
Yes, but they're not legally divorced. Well,
right.
Are they? Well, wait, I'm not sure.
No, they're not divorced yet. We would have heard that.
I think they're legally separated, but I don't want to say for sure. They might not be legally separated.
Well, but I kind of think, didn't you tell me that she went to a judge to get the divorce fast tracked? Didn't you tell me that, or something to that effect, which would lead me to believe that the separation clearly is in play? And that is a thing, right? Like, you're legally separated.
I just don't want to hear. Okay. Yes. Okay. Last month, Kim Kardashian filed documents to declare herself legally single. Okay. So I don't want to give incorrect information. So I don't know.
I mean, I don't know the answer either way. You know what I mean? Like, if separate, I wouldn't know.
Literally.
I just wonder when the rights kick in to the property and when you can tell someone they can't come in. I think that's got to be part of separation. I would think. I don't know. So we've got lawyers that listen that could clear that up if you want to. Anyways,
I think it's healthy and good that Kim Kardashian is setting up boundaries and protecting her happiness and what she wants for herself. And Kanye is not being respectful of that. And Kanye also is airing his dirty laundry very publicly, while Kim Kardashian, I would say, very tactfully, classily, has remained completely silent and not said a single thing over the last week.
She is a lawyer in training. I don't know if that's ever going to come to fruition, but I'm sure she knows that aspect of the law. That's probably pretty general stuff that you're dealing with. I mean, like I always say, people don't talk for a reason. It all could come out in court. It could end up in documents, and that's just proof for something. It's probably been told to her. Say nothing.
So that was the first big thing. Then Kanye made a huge to-do and incredibly upset over not being invited to his daughter's birthday party, Chicago, who turned 4. And you and I disagree on this. I don't think Kim does. First of all, let me go with your train of thought. Historically, you've said, and I would think you are going to say that Kanye should have been invited to this birthday party. I should specify it was a joint birthday party for Kim's daughter, Chicago, and Kylie's daughter, Stormy. So I'm going to assume you think Kanye should have been invited. But if you're then going to invite Kanye...
No, don't make that assumption.
Oh, okay. So do you think Kanye should have been invited?
I mean, typically when we talk about this stuff, we're talking about divorced parents, and we're not talking about people that are in the throes of separation and strife. What is happening now? This is a hot situation with someone's that's put out their behavior that's questionable. So no, I don't necessarily think he should be. Now, if I'm the parents, I try to figure it out. I try to say, hey, we need to do this somehow. It is his kid, and it is the kid's birthday, and dad does want to be there. I would tactfully try to figure it out, but I wouldn't say you have to. I couldn't. I wouldn't. I just you don't have to.
I mean, it's just so complicated too, because all of Kim's feelings are valid. He cheated on her. He admitted to cheating on her. He's made her life hell. He's continuing to make her life hell. And even if you're going to be,
he's still the parent.
No. All right, no. And even if all of that, and you're considering, being the bigger person and inviting him, it just also makes things complicated because Kanye has family that lives in Los Angeles. Do you have to then invite his family to come too? What do you do?
Do
you just invite?
It's not a. I don't think there's a definitive answer situation.
I'm inviting our listeners and viewers as well. Do you just invite Kanye, or if you invite?
I'm getting ahead of this. I'm just thinking that they're thinking what I'm thinking. It just depends on the situation.
Right, well,
every situation's different.
Situation.
You know nothing about the situation except for he's a rapper that says stuff in his songs that's stupid, and there's some assault thing that I'm still not convinced was assault. So
all right. So this is where it's according to reports and sources. According to reports and sources, Kim was under the impression that Kanye was going to throw his own birthday party for his daughter. Which would make sense.
I would still think a text or an email could clarify that. Once again, sources coming from her.
Fine.
She may as well said it.
Fine.
You know what I mean?
Here's another issue or question. Why couldn't Kanye have handled his private family drama privately?
Because he doesn't. He never has. And nor has she in the past either.
Yes, she has.
No,
she's been very respectful. She's barely talked about.
I'm not talking about
Kanye.
I'm talking about when they got together. These weren't two private behind wall citizens that we didn't know anything about. This is a reality star that's aired out every single element of her body, of her being, of her life, of her family's life. Give me a fucking break if that's what you're trying to tell me. No, she hasn't. And once again,
you're wrong.
No. That's what she signed up for, and that's what he signed up for. Things
wrong.
can change, and they did change. Okay, fine. But I'm just saying, you knew what you got into.
They did change. Kim was
I'm just saying, you knew what you got into.
And people change. Kim has been very respectful towards Kanye and his mental health and his struggles and his issues on their reality show. We didn't really see that discussed at length or at all, even really.
Okay. Well, it's been asked on TV shows, and she has talked about it, and from her mouth. So look, this is a very not black and white situation. This is reality people that signed up for this reality life. Okay. It's probably hard to draw lines in the sand. For him and for her and for all of this, because what's public consumption, what's real, what's bullshit, what's a TV show, what's just amping up, what's reality, not reality with these people? Who knows? They're playing a different game than we're privy to, is all that I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying anyone's right or wrong. I just think that there's a lot of different games going on. There's a lot of pieces on the board.
Well, I don't think Kim is playing any games other than trying to look out for the best interest of her kids and her mental health.
Okay. I can't like that either.
I'm not some big ass Kardashian defender, but I like to call it like I see it.
Look, yes, this is all very messy, as you like to say. There's kids involved. There's real life things that bled into this bullshit reality life that they created that's with characters in it that are supposed to be real human beings and behave like real human beings. These people don't. Okay. And her included, by the way, her included. This is a whole different ball of wax.
And honestly, if I'm a 4-year-old, and sometimes I behave like a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
If mom asks me, Perez, do you want to have one birthday party or two?
15 is your answer.
Yeah, exactly.
Birthday month.
Yeah.
I know.
Like, so a kid would be happy to have more than one birthday party.
Well, I mean,
If you get
that's sensible. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I think it's just like we're in the heat of this. And I think that's the answer to everything.
Well, Kanye ended after going live on Instagram and complaining that he didn't even know where the party was at. Travis Scott.
Where was it? Chuck E. Cheese?
I think it was at Kylie's house.
Okay.
I think. Travis
Well, that's
Scott,
a whole other thing too on top of it. Let's say it's at Kylie's house.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to be invited to that. That is her house. Now, if it's at Kim and Kanye's house, I think that's a different situation too.
Well, it was, I think, don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure it was at Kylie's house. Like I said at the beginning, it was a joint birthday party for Stormy and Chicago.
Yeah.
And Travis Scott ended up giving Kanye the details, and he showed up and he was there. And I would like, God, I'm like having a moment of like future anxiety for my children and their partners, because like I would be on my absolute best behavior. If I was Kris Jenner, I would smile and have a conversation, and then when he left, I would talk so much shit about him behind his back, but I wouldn't do it to his face.
Well,
like,
of course,
can you believe
her mom?
The nerve of that man to show up after he blasted us on Instagram. Fuck him.
I'm sure those conversations have happened.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But in lighter news, his new girlfriend, Julia Fox, continues to be like Kim Kardashian 2.0, except she's an actress. She gave another interview to Interview Magazine, and she said things like, I just feel really safe with him and I'm surrendering myself to him. She sounds like the ultimate groupie, like fan. Like, I'm just so honored to be in his presence. And
let's put a timer on this. 3 weeks over under. I'm setting it. They'll be together for 3 weeks.
More than that.
Oh, you're going over.
Yeah, because she's not a model. She's somebody that was sort of known. She was in that movie Uncut Gems. She's an actor. That.
Okay.
It was the Adam Sandler movie that almost got him an Oscar nomination.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
He played the jeweler, I believe.
Yeah.
Anyways, she's getting a lot of buzz right now, and I'm sure Kanye loves that because he loves the attention. So I do think it'll last for a bit. I don't know how long, but
right. You don't want to shake off that teat yet. I'm just wondering if he'll shake her off. That's because he's so willy-nilly with this everything. You know what I mean?
I definitely think it'll last more than 3 weeks. So I'm going to win this bet. I'll bet you a high chew. Okay. I'll bet you a bag of high chew. Anyways, she's also got her own podcast, and she's talking about Kanye on her podcast. And
you gotta be kidding me.
Nope.
Wow.
It's crazy. All right. Well, we're going to talk about Prince Harry. I am so thankful about that because whenever we talk about Prince Harry, it riles people up.
It does. People get nuts.
I guess let's just start with the facts. Prince Harry, we all know, chose to. Prince Harry at the very beginning wanted to have his cake and eat it too, as they said, right? We know way back in 2020 when he announced that he was stepping down as a senior working royal. However, I need to remind everybody that he didn't want to completely step down. And I respect this. The way that the monarchy has been working in the UK for decades is a certain way. One of the ways that it has worked is if you're a senior royal, there is a protocol, the process of how things have to work. Prince Harry wanted his own voice. You know, he wanted to be able to call the shots and say, well, I want to speak for myself and release my own statement. And I want to be able to do this or not do this. And Her Majesty, the Queen, said, no, you can't do it that way. If you want to be a working royal, you have to do it like we've been doing it. So he just decided, okay, well, I don't want to, then I'm going to walk away completely. When he walked away completely, his royal protection was taken away from him. Here in the United States, he now has a US team of security professionals that he pays for. However, and this has upset a lot of people, anything that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle do will upset a lot of people. He is fighting the UK government, the Home Office, it's called. The Home Office is responsible for security in the UK, for all security, in addition to royal security.
Right.
And the issue is Prince Harry has not taken his children to the United Kingdom ever since 2019 because he doesn't think they're safe there, because he no longer gets royal protection. And he's fighting the Home Office. And this actually seems reasonable-ish. It seems totally reasonable, but I'll present to you the counter argument. He wants to pay out of his own pocket to get the kind of protection that he used to get. It's like in the US. Yeah. It's like Secret Service protection, right? Like the children of former presidents, I believe, certain things can happen after a certain amount. I don't know the technicality, but the children of former presidents, I don't know if they're guaranteed Secret Service protection forever. But let's say if you're a child of the former president who's a billionaire, and if you want to keep your secret, if you want to pay for your Secret Service protection, I would have no problem with that. Would you?
No.
If it's at no cost to the taxpayers, but you just want that heightened security, all right, fine. You're paying for it. I'm cool with that. That's basically what Prince Harry wants in the United Kingdom.
But he wants the United Kingdom's protection?
Yes, he wants the United Kingdom's protection, and he's willing to pay for it.
I gotcha. But he also stepped down. So why doesn't he just hire his own?
Because here's why. And I have an answer for you. I did my research before our show today. They have different gun laws in the United Kingdom. Oh, and they're not allowed
to carry. Private
security is not allowed to carry guns. And I think he just wants his security there to have guns. Okay. So I believe.
Then don't step down from, you know what I mean? Then don't step down. He did. I mean, if you want to be a normal person can't have private security that has guns. I mean, that's, but he still is a royal. I don't know.
Well, that's exactly what he said. He's still a royal. He was born into this. He did not choose that.
But he did choose to step down. He did choose that. So it's like saying.
But he's still a royal, and he still has that risk associated.
He does. But he also said, I don't want to be a royal, and I don't want anything to do with this anymore.
He's still a royal. He's just not a working royal.
But I guess my point is it's like cake and eating it too. If you say I don't want it, then you can't take some of the things, the perks. You know what I'm saying? Like then if you're punting on it all, you have to punt on the perks as well.
But he's willing to pay for it. I don't get what the situation is.
It's I see. I mean, I see your point. Like you're saying, well, let me use the accommodations that I'm used to. I know I've punted from them. However, I'll pay to have them there. And they're like, those are just for people that are royals. And you said you didn't want to be a royal. I mean, I kind of see both sides of the argument, but I don't know. I mean, he's a royal there. You know what I mean? Like, I would just give it to him just because why not? Just give them the extra security. They need it there.
The bigger issue is some people in the UK think it's an ego issue, that he just thinks he's bigger than he is. Because
first of all, his mom fucking died from people chasing him around, or chasing her around. You can't fault him for wanting the maximum amount of protection there. He listen, if this was like an actress that wanted this, different story. You know what I mean? Like the biggest, Meryl Streep wants this. Different story. She's just an actor. He actually is a part of that. And I would want the protection just to sleep well. You know what I mean? Like
So
I would just say, look, give it to him.
Did you just change your mind in like the span of 60 seconds?
I don't think I changed my mind at all. I'm just saying, I can see both sides of it, but as I talk it out and I think about it, listen, if something happens, you don't want something to happen again. You don't. He's precious to a lot of people still. They may be divisive. A lot of people may be just pissed off and done with them. And I get them saying, hey, you don't want this stuff, then you don't get this stuff. I get that side of it too. But then if you look down the road a little bit, it could be a dangerous situation. Like I said, this isn't just a regular actor. This isn't like an A-lister, whatever. Leonardo DiCaprio needs this. He is a royal. He was born that, and he's going to be chased like that there for the rest of his life. So fuck it, just give it to him. That's what I would do. So
especially since he's willing to pay for it.
Right.
Like there is no cost to British taxpayers whatsoever.
Yeah.
Although I actually think his grandmother should pay for it. Because, well, then it's complicated because I don't believe that she pays for it for all of her grandchildren. She's got many grandchildren.
Yeah, this is just a different situation. And, almost like the Kardashians, everything's a different situation. And this one's a heightened situation.
Well, what do you guys think about the Prince Harry request that he's fighting the UK Home Office over? Call us and let us know. 800-721-1185. All right, we're going to talk Novak Djokovic and Britney Spears. Oh my God. Let's do Novak, whatever, fast, because I do want to get to Britney. But
that's an easy one. He won't get vaccinated, and they punted his ass out of Australia. Good for them. I love you, Australia. I love countries that give no fucks, and they're like, we're doing the right thing, and they are doing the right thing. Good for you, Australia. Good for you.
Well, the bigger issue is he lied a few times in filling out all of the paperwork. More than one lie. So what do you expect? You can't lie when going to another country and filling out declarations and things like that.
Yeah. Bye.
All right. There we go. Yeah. And also I feel for the people of Australia because they've had really severe lockdowns for so much longer than us in America. Did you know that?
Well, I have friends that live in Australia and it's no joke over there, but it's like countries like Germany. They just say, look, we're doing it this way and this is how we're doing it and get in line. Over here, we have all these, freedoms and it's like to our detriment almost that people don't want to do the right thing because I, me. So I tip my hat to Australia and countries that behave that way.
All right, let's move on to Britney Spears. And I moved her on to later in the show, in the lineup, just because, you keep telling me people are over Britney Spears and this drama, but I don't know if they are. So let's talk about it. And I want to hear from our listeners. Are you fed up with Britney Spears drama or not?
Well,
let us know.
I think it's just the length. This is a good story. You got two siblings arguing, and there you go. That's a good talking point.
All right. So
we're like two siblings arguing.
I mentioned it was it our first episode? I think, yeah, our first episode of the year. I said, we're going to hear a lot more from Britney Spears this year.
Sure. And
boy, has that really come true. Everything kicked off, as the Brits say, It went to a whole other level following Jamie Lynn Spears' sit-down interview with Good Morning America, where she claims she doesn't know why she and her sister are in this position. Then for days afterwards, it was exhausting. Literally for every day for several days, both Britney and her sister were doing this back and forth on social media publicly. Instead of talking privately, they were airing their grievances out on Instagram story, on Twitter, and really going there. Yeah. And I understand both sides. I mean, Britney even went so far as to call her sister a scum person. She called her little sister a scum person. And, you know, I get this way too. Sometimes it's human nature. First of all, okay, a couple steps back. First of all, it's hard as fuck to be the bigger person.
Yeah.
Because it's human nature when you're being attacked to dig your heels in. And that's kind of what Jamie Lynn Spears said. She's like, fuck this. I know my sister's going through a lot, but I'm not going to tolerate lying. You're lying, Britney. Like, tell the truth. And like, oh my God. And like more details came out from Jamie Lynn's book that, you know, Jamie Lynn was concerned for her children's safety and an alleged incident with Britney and a knife where she was concerned for her own safety as well. Unfortunately, or fortunately, you know, really the only people that know what really happened are Britney and her sister. And even then, like I've said before,
well, even then, that might not even be true because of your state of mind. Yeah,
exactly.
You may think something happened.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say. Like Britney may be thinking a certain way and perceiving or remembering or whatever, and that may not be the truth.
Right.
However, over the last week, Jamie Lynn Spears said repeatedly, now you can believe her or not, Britney's sister has said more than once that she did try and gave her resources and information and tried to help get her sister out of her conservatorship, which I think is the biggest cause of strife between Britney and her sister.
Yeah.
Smartly, Britney's brother does not have social media, as I said.
He's like, I'm the luckiest person in the world right now.
And he is keeping his mouth shut.
Smart.
He ain't saying shit. He's not taking a side publicly. He's not saying Britney's right or Jamie Lynn's right. He is just staying quiet, and that's very smart. But not everybody is staying quiet. One of Jamie Lynn's former co-stars is calling her a bully and, you know, getting into things. And smartly also, Kevin Federline is staying quiet and not saying anything. I had a question about that. Well, I think I have the answer. Britney's children are, I think, 15 and 16. All of this drama is going on now with her family. But like, let's not even talk about the dad. If Britney's mother, Lynn Spears, wants to see her grandchildren, Kevin Federline has primary custody, 70%. If when it's in his time, I would say that if the kids want to see grandma, if they want to see their grandmother, Kevin should allow that.
But I'm betting they're cool. You know what I mean? Like, I'm betting he's cool. He doesn't want, you know what I mean? I don't think he wants any part of the drama. If grandma wants to come over, grandma's coming over. I mean, it's just normal. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's probably operating on a normal.
But Britney may not want her children seeing the grandmother.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's, you know, but I don't think Kevin's ever been perceived or known as the enemy. You know, I think he's just dad in this. And I hope that's the case. You know what I mean? Like, I hope he doesn't have any of this blood on his hands, this mess, or, you know, is seen liable in her eyes at any time. Well, I hope not, because that would make it really messy.
She's smart. She's not mentioned him in forever.
So that's good. Great. Great. And I'm sure he's thinking it too. He's pissed we're talking about him right now, which, you know.
Yeah. So, you know,
I don't want to light any of those fires.
Where we stand right now, both Britney and her sister they both released the most passive aggressive, bitchy truce statements, like wanting to have there be peace but they both handled it in the worst ways possible.
Yeah.
Because I get it. They are both hurt. They are both hurting and upset at each other. I wish them well. All right, let's keep it moving. Joe Rogan continues to spread COVID misinformation on his allegedly very popular podcast, and that has upset a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of pressure being put on Spotify to handle this. How do you think it should be handled? If in any way?
Yeah, maybe not handled.
Not.
He does an entertainment show. It's almost like saying that Fox News should have to put something on their screen. They just don't tell the truth. I don't. If you're someone claiming to tell the truth, or you're claiming to be a doctor or whatever, it's a different thing. If you're an elected official, he's not. He's some dope with a podcast. Like, who cares what he thinks? And he's figured out that he can get an audience from saying some of these things that are contradictory of the truth. There's a whole sect of society that just wants to say no when someone's telling you yes, that wants to tell you that, you know.
But as with Fox News, a lot of people believe them.
That's true. That's true. And it's really, honestly, the number one downfall of this country, in my opinion. It's this
Fox News,
not Fox News, just the dissemination of incorrect facts. It's
Joe Rogan is doing that.
Yeah, but you know, everyone, we keep falling back on this freedom of speech. It's people subscribe to it. They want to hear that. So I don't know what this, like, he's not a doctor. You know what I mean? Like, you know, if people want to go around and spout this stuff, so what? I feel badly for the people that believe it. They're only putting themselves in danger. Unfortunately, they probably are putting some healthy people in danger too. It sucks. It is what it is, though.
I think at the very minimum, they need, I'm not even saying they should, at the very minimum, on whatever podcast of Joe Rogan's he does talk COVID, they need a disclaimer at the very beginning that says there is information discussed in this show that has not been verified to be true. Viewer discretion is advised, and please consult your doctor, or something like that. I don't know.
If he was a doctor claiming this horse shit, then it's different.
But
he's not. He's an entertainer. He's entertaining.
But he thinks he's an expert. Like, he's done all this reading and all this research.
But that's the thing. You know, he can think whatever he wants. He's still a boob. Okay, so if you want to follow the boob, follow the boob. You know what I mean? Like, who am I to tell you not to? So I don't know. I go back and forth on that. I don't necessarily disagree with what you just said. That's where we are. That's where we are with this freedom of speech at this moment. So I don't know what to say.
Happy almost 2-year anniversary to us in the United States with COVID. Wait, when is the 2-year anniversary? It was March, right?
Was it March? I would have said, yeah.
Yeah, it was early March 2020. Fucking God fucking A. All right. Wrapping it up, a couple last things. Tiffany Haddish was arrested for alleged DUI in Georgia. However, she was found with her car pulled over, and she was asleep in the car.
You still get a DUI.
You get a DUI for that?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Happens a lot. Absolutely.
I did not know that.
Yeah. If that car was running, you know, you're in trouble.
Oh, wait, but the car, but
even if it wasn't running. I mean, if you're like in a parked car, you can get a DUI, which is crazy. Yeah.
How does that make sense?
It doesn't make sense to me, but that's the law. It's crazy, right?
I would have thought that the
passed
smarter
out.
Yeah, I would have thought the smarter thing to do was to pull your car over if you're tired.
It's the law. I don't know. What am I going to argue with you? It's the law. I don't know.
Well, when I first read the headlines, I'm like, oh, there's no excuse for that. DUI, yada, yada, yada. Anyways, rest in peace again to Bob Saget. They just had his funeral, and it was nice to see the Olsen twins there. They didn't take part in Fuller House, but obviously he meant a lot to them, and they showed up at his funeral, and that was nice.
You changed their tune. You called them pukes or something last week. I forget what you called them.
I did
just
not,
because they didn't want to take part in their dumb fucking television show.
I did
and
not
now they are
say
as
that.
human beings. Well, it was something to that effect. I can't quote you exactly.
Anyways, speaking of Full House, Lori Loughlin and her husband were robbed recently. Armed and masked burglars broke into their home in Los Angeles, and they even had, I think, what do you call that? A safe. Somehow they were able to, either they left the safe open or they took the entire safe, or I don't know, but They robbed $1 million worth of jewelry. And then I saw the comments, and a lot of people were like, karma, and all these things. And it's like, yeah, she did some fucked up thing, but I don't wish bad upon her.
Yeah. Who cares?
And a lot of people do.
Their dumb comments. Here's my comment. It's now an empty house.
That made me think, though. I don't know if there's a direct parallel to it, but there was this one story that got a lot of attention recently about this man in Maryland who had a heart transplant, and he was the first person, I believe, in the world that had a successful pig modified. It was genetically modified pig heart transplant. But then it became known that he's got a violent past, and he stabbed this person, and the guy suffered severe consequences after that. He was wheelchair bound because he got paralyzed after he was stabbed by this guy, and then he had a stroke and died just at 41 years old. And this guy got the modified pig heart, and some people are upset, thinking that somebody more deserving should have gotten that. I would agree with those people.
Yeah, I get that.
I would agree
when
with
when you like, if you're a big drinker and then you need a new liver, like you're not at the top of the list because you're the one that abused your liver. They're going to find somebody that just got some sort of liver disease, and they're going to try to give them the liver first. So, it's sort of the same thing.
Like, I'm not saying this guy doesn't deserve treatment. Not at all. Of course, that's what doctors should do, treat everybody.
But he is kind of a guinea pig, pardon the pun, for this. If it's the first kind of, it's not locked in that it's going to work for long term, right? So I don't know. There's that side of the argument too.
Well, finally, let's end things on some positive note. On a positive note, congratulations to Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly. They said, I do, I will. They're going to marry each other. But
the memes are the best things I've ever seen in my life.
But when talking about this, Megan Fox said, let me read you the last sentence. And just as in every lifetime before this one, and in every lifetime that will follow it, I said yes, ... And then we drank each other's blood. First of all, the thing is, I sincerely, genuinely cannot tell if she was joking or not.
Oh, of course she wasn't. Absolutely, they drank each other's blood for sure, 100%. You think that's a joke? That's a joke. These two?
Is that all right? And did they like really like? Did they take a?
Nah, dude. They pricked the finger.
All right.
It's not like they fucking put a bag in there and squeezed it out like it's a fucking. I
don't know.
What are those things called? Squeezy.
I can't put
like it's a juice box.
Well, congratulations to them. All right, let's take some calls.
Hey, Perez. Hey, Booker. It's Madison from Florida. I'm only like 5 minutes into the podcast episode from this week, and I just had to call and tell you how much I love these football recaps. I know actually nothing about football, but my husband is a huge Steelers fan, so he was very excited yesterday about everything that happened for his team to get into the playoffs, but I had no idea why or what happened. And now I can walk back to him and actually have an idea of what's going on. So just wanted to say that I appreciate you breaking it down, how a 30-year-old female can actually understand it. So keep up the good work. Thanks, guys. Love you.
More football updates. Well, your husband's not happy this morning. I can tell you that for sure. So there you go. Steelers lost, by the way.
Are they? So then they're out.
They're out. Yeah. They shouldn't have been in the first place. They're a dog shit team this year. How they got in, they snuck in. I mean, it was ridiculous. Here we go.
Hi, it's Christy from Michigan. I watched that Red Table Talk that Perez was on, and I have to tell you, Perez, that was a great show. You really, this isn't the right word to say, but you humanized yourself in a way that I'm hoping people understand that, we all go through stages and that, you learned and grew from everything that you've done and said. It was a great show. I think you really showed the change, and you're awesome. And Booker's awesome too. You guys have a great day. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Yeah. He took a dump on that at the beginning of today's episode. So there you go.
He's not that awesome. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Hi, Perez and Booker. My name is Mia. I'm calling from Toronto. I'm just calling in response to the Ben Affleck thing. I agree with Booker. He's right. That was not Ben's intention to shit all over Jennifer. However, he said he was trapped in the marriage, couldn't leave because of the kids. So he's essentially saying, I was drinking again because I was trapped in this marriage and maybe unhappy. And that was what initiated his drinking. So I guess you're both right in both ways. But still, it's still kind of a douchebag thing to say. All right, great. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Yeah, he doesn't do himself any favors. I'll give you that, but I just don't think that there was any intent there. I think there's quite a bit of a difference.
Yeah, but there might not have been the intent, but he said what he said, and then he tried to maneuver his way out of it by saying he was taken out of context. No, he wasn't. He was not taken out of context.
I heard it. He was. Here we go.
Hi, my name's Taylor. I'm calling from Ontario, Canada. And I was just listening to your podcast, and you were talking about the Bravo Real Housewives. And I think Booker is right about the, his mom watching Days of Our Lives. My mom watched Days of Our Lives, so I watched it with her. I really think it's a generational thing. And I think that the soap operas are slowly moving over to this reality TV show. When my mom was young, we watched Big Brother and Survivor, and those shows are still going on, and I watch those now. And I'm sure when I have kids, if it's still on, they'll want to watch it with me. So it's really a generational thing, and I think that's what's going on. So I just wanted to put my 2 cents in there, but I love the show, and I hope you guys have a good day.
Yeah.
I guess the key is they just need to keep adding new cast members, because don't you get bored of the same people and their drama? That's what I was really getting at.
You'd think. Hold on, another call here.
Hi, this is Mary Ann from Dexter, Michigan. I don't like it when people say that relapse is a part of recovery. That's very misleading.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in recovery, and that is not true. People do not relapse over and over, and they should not be told that, because then they think they have permission in their head to go and drink. It's a very dangerous thing to say. I just wanted to say that it is not a part of recovery. I know plenty of addicts who have not relapsed and are still sober. Thank you. I love your show, though. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Sorry. I did catch that when you said it, and I knew better, but we were an hour 19 of our fucking show, and I just wanted to wrap it up. But it is, you don't say that. It's not a thing they say in recovery.
It's not? Okay. I thought it was.
No, it's not a part of recovery. It's, has nothing to do with it. I mean, I know better just because I know too many addicts, and I did a lot in New York, and I got to go to some of those, CHIP meetings when they had, they handed out, and your friends and family get to go and stuff like that. And, you learn a couple of things about it, and it isn't really tolerated. It's not frowned upon, but it may happen, but it's not. The way you phrased it was incorrect for people in a NA, AA, the programs, whatever. Let's wrap it up. All
right. Thank you, guys. Make sure that you share this. If you can, we would appreciate it. We want to grow this, and have a great day, week, and we'll see you next week.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.